What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another Mega Man X Dive character overview. Today we're going to be taking a look at Swimsuit Iris as she releases in the global version tomorrow. So let's take a look at her kit. Alright, so taking a look at Swimsuit Iris, again as per usual, I already took a look at her in my character preview video, or unit preview, with the weekly update. So here is Swimsuit Iris here. She does have a skin, like I said in that video as well. I don't know how it will go about being available for the players, but I prefer this one to our red one because I like blue more than red, but that's just me personally. Anyway, taking a look at her skills real quick. First up, we have Beach Ball. A hurl ball target deal 108% damage. The ball penetrates all targets along its path, and after penetrating a target, its damage will become 25%. The ball will rebound 3 times when it comes into landscape. So you have an attack that can penetrate a target. Normally, I don't really care the things that can penetrate target, but this one can actually ricochet. At least it states that it ricochets on the actual skill, right? I'm pretty sure some of the things don't actually say like they ricochet, or like they just inherently have like a boomerang-ish mechanic. So that's pretty good there. So that means you could throw this at someone standing near a wall, and it could hit them multiple times if they stand still, or if they're kind of just not expecting it. So the modifier chips for Beach Ball are power increases damage rate by 5%. One shot to victory, reduce your remaining count of Beach Ball you have to 1, but this shot is capable of dealing massive damage towards target. This is kind of like the Cinnamon skill modifier chip. I think Cinnamon has one like this as well. And then we have Eyes on Me Only. When this skill hits a target, the target would be locked, and if it's hit by a Beach Ball once more, it will deal an additional roughly 65% damage, which is interesting. So I'm not sure if this would count the ricochet. I think it would based on the wording, but I can't be sure on that. So her skill 2, Core Crystal. Summon the Core Crystal to your side. The Core Crystal will automatically shoot out water jets in front of Iris and deal damage continuously to all targets in range. Water jet will disappear after 6 seconds. This skill is a summon. This skill is a summon. I don't think I went over it before, but that just kind of means like it counts like as like a little kind of minion kind of thing. And this is useful for the skills. What is it? I think Summon Sentinel. I think that's the only skill that has mention of a summon on it, and this just reduces damage you take from a summon skill, and this would be one of those skills. So I just thought I would note that because I don't think I've ever mentioned that before. Here we have High Pressure Water Jet. Wow, damage reduces accelerated by 20%. Water Spray increase the range by 25%, and Quick Charge reduce the prep time by 20%. Now for Iris, I think you might want to go with Quick Charge, or maybe even Water Spray, increase range by 25%, maybe depending on what weapon you're using. But the Quick Charge just means that you get the cooldown time is reduced by 20%. That's good. And for this, I don't know. This allows you to do more burst damage, but this allows you to deal might be wow, words are hard. Might allow you to deal more damage overall because after it penetrates, or after it hits a target once, they get a lock-on status, and it will deal an additional 65% extra damage. So like I said, I'm not sure if that counts as that specific ball, and if it ricochets, or if the next one you throw will do that. I'm also not sure on the modifier on this as well. It'd be great if I could see that to see what the damage is, so I can actually compare the damages between these two. That would be useful. But onto the passive skills. So first up, we have Hard increases damage of Beach Ball by 40% after penetration. I mentioned before, normally on these, like I'm kind of just like, I don't know why these, like this doesn't really help in PvP all that much. It's pretty decent in PvE. However, because Iris's skill 1 can rebound or ricochet, I've been saying ricochet instead of rebound, but it's basically the same thing. That allows you to deal actually more damage when after it penetrates a target and then it starts ricocheting. If I'm reinterpreting that correctly, that should allow you to do that. So that's actually pretty decent. So that you don't have to waste a modifier chip on it. I do still kind of wish that this was something more useful, but yeah. Now we have Cute Bathing Suit. When the weapon hits, it will weaken the target's attack and damage, and reduce damage dealt by 6%. Can be attacked up to 4 times. So this passive is a lot worse than I thought it was. So in my preview video, when reading this, like if you just read this, right, this reads as when the weaken the target's attack damage, right? so it sounds like it activates all the time. Well, it actually doesn't activate all the time, and the skill doesn't actively tell you that. The way I found that out is because I looked at the DNA, which I don't usually show in my unit previews, just because we won't get them in global when the unit releases, typically. But I think this one's actually rather important when considering the kit of Iris. Increase the chance to trigger cute bathing suit by 30%, right? But this doesn't tell you it has a chance to activate. This says it'll just activate, right? So that is what tipped me off. Is like, this doesn't trigger when I use my weapon, as the skill says it does, right? This triggers X% of the time. Thanks to the wiki, I found out it was about 65% of the time this triggers, which is still pretty decent, right? Because that's over 50% trigger rate. 65, that's pretty high chance to trigger. But the skill doesn't tell you that it has a chance to trigger. The skill says it will trigger, which makes this a lot worse than I thought it was. But it's still pretty solid overall. And we don't even get this on release, so don't even worry about this right now. But just know that this skill isn't as good as I initially said it was, or like even think it is. I still think it's a decent skill, but it should be worded so that you know by looking at it that it doesn't trigger 100% of the time. There's only a chance for it to trigger. Next up, we have I Won't Lose. When you hit a target with critical enhance, you will gain a shield that is capable of negating 75% of damage dealt to you. But this effect can only be triggered once more after 4 seconds. This effect will trigger automatically once every 20 seconds. Again, another passive I'm really lukewarm on is this one. Because when you hit a target in critical enhance, not every character has a critical enhance. And having that for a passive is kind of like, it's like, that's really situational, pretty niche. But the second half said this effect will trigger automatically once every 20 seconds. So once every 20 seconds, you should be getting a shield. But once every 4 seconds, if you hit a target with critical enhance, you will gain a shield. So that's not bad, right? But 20 seconds is a long time. It doesn't sound like that long, like typically, because like day-to-day life, 20 seconds, 20 seconds is nothing. But when you're playing a game that's based off of cooldown management and things of that nature, 20 seconds is a very long time. Especially considering some skills recover a lot faster than 20 seconds, right? Like some skills are on a 4 to 5 second cooldown. You can use that skill, obviously, depending on how long the cooldown is, like 4 to 5 times within that 20-second period. So I like the second half of this. The first half, it's all right, I guess. Bouncy ball, increase the range. Wow, I almost combined range and flight. I almost said flange. I apologize about that. Increase the range and flight speed of beach ball by 40%. The ball now bounces 5 times after coming in contact with landscape. I think this is very good. Flight speed and range increase, so you have an inherent range increase, so you don't have to use your modifier chip on that. That's already good, and it now ricochets 5 times instead of the 3 from before, so that's good. And then double water jets. When you summon a core crystal, an additional core crystal will appear under the target and unleash a water jet that shoots upwards, causing damage to targets in range. So water jets will disappear after 6 seconds. This is a summon. Again, this is a summon. It disappears after 6 seconds, just like the regular water jets. More DPS. That's not bad. That's always welcome. There's not really much else to say about that right now. So now that we've gone over Iris's kit, let's go over some weapons that might pair decently with it. I'm sorry about that. They're doing some construction outside. I don't know if you hear that, but I apologize if you do. And one of the first weapons I want to go over with Iris, I think she'll be decent with a poke comp. And what I mean with a poke comp is like, the double buster, the double sniper specifically, setup. So you hit it with a sniper buster, destructive laser, or even explosive bolt. I think explosive bolt could be actually pretty interesting with Iris, Swimsuit Iris, on like a more enclosed map, like maybe say some specific areas of cyberspace, because explosive bolt, while it doesn't pierce terrain, my explosive bolt on this profile isn't fully unlocked, but where is it? This one. Spread calibration. Your shots can now rebound when they come in contact with terrain. So you can kind of get some cheap damage in with this. like I said, this one in particular I think would be a little bit more beneficial on a smaller map, like with more enclosed spaces, as opposed to somewhere like Highway where it's a lot of open space and not much to rebound off of. But I do think Sniper Buster, like, you know, the double snipers will be good on Iris. And let's talk about some sprayers as well. Because of Iris's inherent attack break, I think that she'll go well with sprayers, because the sprayers have access to the Mad Nautilus chip. So things like the electric current radiation, or I'm sorry, electric current spray gun will do decent. Electric current spray gun is very solid. It can pierce terrain, go through walls. It also has an inherent destroy armor, so it can armor crush targets as well. It has a stun for the hidden skill, so I think that's very good. Or you could even go for the range increase and hit from even further away and play a little bit more pokey with this. Another standard suspect, explosive blower. I feel like with explosive blower though, it might not be as good on Iris. The stun effect is definitely great, but it doesn't have the highest fire rate, and Iris isn't really like a huge damage dealer herself. Though, even though I said that, you can get the immobilize, use your core crystal, and then bounce some beach balls real quick. So that might be like, you know, a pretty sleeper combo you can do with her. I think that might be pretty good. But if you're using explosive blower, I don't think you would use the electronic the Mad Nautilus chip on that. I think you might want to use something more like obviously like Sting Chameleon, maybe Drill Man instead. Sting Chameleon is a very, very good chip though. I just don't think you would really want to use this if you're using explosive blower. Heart spray gun, it's okay. I think it's an okay option. This just allows you to heal. Outside of that, it can pierce terrain as well, I'm pretty sure, with the heart's arrow. Let me double check that. Yes, this can ignore terrain. This gives you a little bit of healing. You don't have as much defense as you do with someone out with other units, like maybe say a swimsuit roll, so you might not be able to actively use the hidden skills for healing, but heart arrow is a good thing to pierce terrain. Gator Fangs, as per usual, Gator Fangs is just a phenomenal weapon. The getting close to rending fangs, the slow, you know, things of that nature. I'm not sure if Gator Fangs is your hidden skill in global right now. This I'm not sure on. But all these skills are pretty solid. Jamming's pretty good. Zero range adaptability is oh that's adaptability. Okay, maybe not so much this one. But Razor Fangs is pretty good as well. And again, this is something else I think you would put on with the Sting Chameleon chip, as I have right there. And since we're talking about sprayers, I cannot forget the Glittering Spark and the Freezing Dominator. Glittering Spark, for those of you that don't know, this has an inherent attack obliteration on it as well. So if you're going for the builds of, like, you know, a bit more bulkier, or you just want to obliterate the opposition's attack, you know, Glittering Spray alongside the Mad Nautilus chip. And then Freezing Dominator is just another one of those very, very good sprayer weapons. And something I actually forgot about with other units when I was speaking about them, because I don't have it unlocked on this account, that might be kind of interesting, is the Essence of the Abyss sprayer. It's not too great, so I think this one would be like more of a maybe like a meanie kind of trolly kind of build. But Essence of the Abyss actually has inherent defense crush on it, which can trigger. It also has a passive that releases orbs, which I think pierce terrain. Obviously, I can't look at it on this account, but I can edit it in during post if I can. And you can put the Mad Nautilus chip on it as well, so you can actually just kind of fully obliterate your opposition. The defense crush might not be all that relevant all the time. Like, well, it'll be relevant all the time, right? Because you'll have a way to deal more damage to the opposition, which is always great. But some units have inherent defensive buffs, so you can kind of balance them out, counteract them with this, which is kind of interesting. And because I had mentioned the cyberspace map before, I also want to give a special shout out to Cannon God. Cannon God is another weapon that will allow you to enable like the kind of pokey comp. More so because Cannon God has a passive, I think when it gets to 4-star, I think that's when the passive is, that allows you to just ignore terrain, and it has pretty fat range too. So you can, in a map like cyberspace, you can hit really, really hard with Cannon God as well, and that is very, very nice to do. One last one I want to give a shout out to is Turbo Cannon. I actually forgot about Turbo Cannon when I was talking about some of the other units, but Turbo Cannon is a very, very good weapon as well. Turbo Cannon has, I think it's a hidden skill. Oops. Hidden skill, yeah. Overheat protection. When a weapon runs out of energy, and I gain an invincibility effect and take 0 damage. So you can actually make use of this on characters that don't have iframes or shields and have like a pseudo bulk of them on that. You have rapid reload here. You have compression, energy tank. You might not want to unlock this one. I know a lot of people say skip this passive in particular. Hold on, let me make sure it's that one. Yeah, it's this one, because this increases your energy and range by 10%, and that sounds really good because of your range, but the energy is what a lot of people don't like to have on this, because it gives you, I believe it gives you 1 more energy, and 1 more energy means it takes 1 more shot to hit your iframes. So I know a lot of people say don't fully unlock the Turbo Cannon for this one. I don't know, like, I feel like that might be a personal preference thing. I don't know if that actually works out better in, say, like, in practice, because in theory, you could you could just adjust your playstyle so that you play around the 1 extra shot, but there's definitely an argument to be made that having 1 less shot in general allows you to access the iframes even faster, so that you'll have that when you need them. But like I said, I feel like you can just adjust your playstyle, so I don't think it's that big of a deal if you've unlocked this one as well. And you have the turbocharger status, increase your shooting speed by 50%. So you shoot 50% faster when you're using this weapon, so that's really, really nice as well. All right, now that we've gone over a few weapons I think might pair okay with Swimsuit Iris, let's take a look at some cards that might perform well with her as well. Okay, so over here at the card section, as per usual, a lot of it's going to depend on what you're doing, what weapon you're using, what kind of build you're going for with roll. However, one thing to keep in mind with roll, I think you might want to try to fit on, maybe not as like your primary card skill, is the attack reduction special attack. I need to find a card with it. Okay, yeah, damage reduction special attack. We need a target and damage reduction status increase damage yield by 4%. This skill right here is what I was talking about. Palette's card has it. Now, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any of the cards that have this, but this is something you could be on the lookout for. Okay, aside from that, you know, you're probably going to want to go after your usual suspects in terms of cards. So maybe player killer, player sentinels, things like that. So your, you know, maybe your Akumas, because this has Way of the Fist. Your M Bisons, as that has player killer too. Again, that's specifically for if you're doing PvP. Your player sentinels on cards like Zangief, if you want to try to minimize the damage you can take, but roll doesn't have, or I keep saying roll, Iris doesn't inherently have defense buffs or shields. Shadow Devil actually has damage reduction and special attack. I'm pretty sure this card is available in global right now. Yeah, damage reduction special attack 2 in particular. The 2 is important because Palette has 1, and I think Palette is yellow, yellow, blue, so you wouldn't be able to stack it with Palette, but this is a card with damage reduction special attack. The Dr. Light card has it as well, which is yellow, yellow, so that is something that I know that is in global and that you can make use of. And then other than that, it'll depend on what weapons you're using. So if you're going for like the sprayers, the sprayer build, so you can make use of the Mad Nautilus chip, you can go Professor Gaudile, because Gaudile is yellow and so is the Dr. Light card, and they both trigger off of yellow, yellow. So if you wanted to go to the damage reduction special attack alongside the sprayer, the sprayer amplification, you can do that. Maybe you want to go with a bit more bulk, so then in that case you would just go for sprayer adaptability on a card like maybe Frost Walrus that has sprayer adaptability, and you can make it in the lab. The Flame Mammoth card also has sprayer adaptability, as well, which you can make use of. It also has slow special attack. I don't think any sprayers in global at the moment have slow. What am I saying? I'm pretty sure this applies to the Gator Fangs chilled effect. So if you're using Gator Fangs, you could possibly put this on your build as well, because this has spread out ability, so you take less damage, and then the slow special attack, so you deal more damage to targets that have been hit with the Gator Fangs as well. And Gator Fangs are already a strong weapon, so increasing the damage you deal is only it just helps you chunk through things easier. Lucia is another option as well, and Lucia is a blue card, so you could make use of Lucia. Where'd you go? Lucia with Armika's first passive, the player sentinel here, and then Lucia's damage reduction special attack 2, and then on top of that, Lucia also has the homeopathy at the amplification 2, so you can deal more damage at higher HP. The only downside with this is you don't have any inherent healing with Swimsuit Iris. I was trying really hard not to say Swimsuit Roll there. I apologize. Unless you're making use of the heart spray gun. I feel like the second passive might be a little bit harder to upkeep. But you could also do two Lucias, like one 5-star Lucia, one like less than 5-star Lucia, and then Rainbow Mika, if you really want to lean into that damage reduction special attack and have the player adaptability as well. All right, I think that will be it for Swimsuit Iris for this video. I don't think she's a bad unit. I'm just very, very disappointed that I accidentally found out this doesn't have 100% trigger rate, because I decided to look at the DNA code, and the wording in here doesn't tell you that. But 65% chance to trigger this is still pretty good, all in all. So it's not that bad. It's not like a 30% chance as opposed to in the game not telling you. So there is that. But before I end this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to my patrons and my YouTube channel members. Thank you guys for supporting me and helping me continue to do things like this. If you'd like to support me on Patreon or become a YouTube channel member, you can find information how to do so down below in the video description. And for those of you pulling for Swimsuit Iris, good luck. Well, I guess technically everyone's pulling for Swimsuit Iris because we're getting a week of free 10 pulls. Hopefully those of you that are, you get wow, English is really hard for me right now. Hopefully your pulls go well, whether you get Swimsuit Iris or something else in the pool that you're looking for, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.